The Batman is a Matt Reeves film, and it's the newest DC movie. Is it worth hype? I don't know. Let's find out. Yeah, I just got back from the theaters, and yeah, I usually like to do a little bit of movie reviews for the really epic ones and just to talk about my DC journey. So this is going to be half a Batman review, half a DC, like what I think what DC should do right now, because I like to give my opinions. That's why I have a channel like this. And yeah, I'm going to be talking about The Batman, which is the newest DC movie, which is, honestly, I thought it was done pretty well. I had very high expectations. It met most of my expectations, is what I'm going to say. Going to give it a solid 8.5. And yeah, I'm going to tell you about it right now. First, I'm just going to say it out loud. I thought the acting was great. I thought the characters were great. I thought the scenes were great. They're really well written. I had some problems with the plot. And the plot was, it wasn't a terrible plot. It just wasn't as good as everything else, is what I was gonna say, though. That's why I didn't think it's a terrible thing. I think the plot, it was kind of like a murder mystery. Is that how it started? Because of course the main villain was the Riddler, and yes, like there's gonna be a little bit of murder mystery in this Batman movie. And I like the ending. I'm gonna be talking about spoilers later, but I like the ending. The murder mystery part was kind of boring. That's not what I'm into, so it's not what I'm into, so I can't really like say that I don't feel like comfortable saying it's objectively bad, because I'm just not really into the murder mystery. I had this problem with the second Dresden book. It wasn't dealing with it, and they handled it pretty well, but still I didn't really care. I cared about the fight scenes. Some of the scenes were just epic. I had one of my favorite scenes so far since 2020. It had my favorite movie scene ever, as the release date. So that's pretty good. I think one of the scenes was really, really epic, and that's what it made us do really well. It's a very great origin story. It's a great, I love having this origin story that's so original to the comics, and I love the Marvel. It doesn't have any influence from Marvel comics. It doesn't have any influence for any other DC. I would be kind of mad if Batman was connected to all the other ones. In my opinion, it should be another trilogy like the old Batman trilogy. I think it does have some potential to be as good as that old Batman trilogy. That's a bold statement, saying it's going to be as good. I don't think so, but I think it has potential to be that good. The first one is promising, and I hope if they step it up, if they ever make a sequel, I think they will make a sequel, I'm pretty sure. If they step it up, that's something I think they should combine the Batman characters, but don't interfere with the other DC universe, in my opinion. Keep the whatever Batman they have right now. The Ben Affleck one is not great, honestly, but I think they should have a separate The Batman universe, which is, in my opinion, would be great. I really would love that. I think, yeah, again, Robert Pattinson did a great job acting. He really, really sold it. He really sold the vengeance part. The soundtrack was just epic, and it really just had a really relatable kind of vibe to it. Had a kind of vibe where he learned something. The villain, the superhero, wasn't all-knowing. He learned something at the end of it. The villain was interesting, and the side characters were also very interesting. It's just some of the mob people, because this was also kind of related to a mob, kind of related to a mystery of solving things that happened quite a while ago. And some of that got a little confusing to me because the names were just so similar, and again, I really don't care about that stuff. So that's some kind of things where I fell short, in my opinion. Again, I think it was a little bit too long, but other than that, that's where my criticisms end. I really, really did enjoy it a lot. I had a lot of fun watching it. I felt like I was watching something like a spectacle. The last spectacle I watched was Dune. Obviously, it wasn't as good as Dune, but it was a great spectacle because they put a lot of effort into it. That's what I love to see in movies. Effort is what I like to see in movies, and I could see that here. The visuals were top notch, and so were just the acting, and just everything related to this movie was really great. I think the trailer was one of the best trailers I've ever watched. That's one of the reasons why I was so excited for this movie. Because if I heard they were just making a reboot Batman, I would be very kind of I don't know, kind of iffy on it because of where Batman is in DC right now. But that trailer was one of the best trailers I've ever watched, and it did a great job marketing it. So yes, Around the Batman is great. The DC as a franchise, my problem with it is it's hit or miss, so much hit or miss, because its content is so different. Something like Shazam, and it'll also put out something like the Snyder Cut or Batman. It has, and Aquaman's kind of on the Shazam side. This Aquaman, Shazam, maybe like the first Justice League, Suicide Squad, the first Suicide Squad, not the Suicide Squad, would be like Marvel wannabes. And then they have this side over here, which is, in my opinion, a lot better, which where I would put the Batman, the Snyder Cut, the Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey, like better DC movies. And then they have this side over here, and you don't know which one you're gonna get. And I hope the Flash movie, the next Aquaman, the Black Adam are all on this side. They kind of move it over. Stop trying to be like Marvel. Why would you try to be like Marvel, in my opinion? Like, because they're doing great, but like obviously fans are not going to just want another version of it. I think you just should make it for the comic book fans. Don't make it for everybody, because making it for everybody is really just a way to get money, but not a way to get a higher quality movie for comic book fans, in my opinion. And yeah, like they have some older movies. Superman was a great movie. I love that movie. But like Batman versus Superman, that was just in a different category. I don't even know what they were trying to do with that movie. But yeah, they have just so spotty. I really think they should find a consistent tone. Because these darker movies, they really hit me, because like I enjoy that kind of stuff. But like, it doesn't matter who you should be entertaining. It should matter like making the best movie possible, not just trying to make the most money, in my opinion. That's my opinion on DC right now. But the Batman was a good step in that direction, because we've had these couple. A little bit of spoilers for the Batman. It's just a little bit. I'm not going with the ending. This is going to be like a minute or two. This is not going to be a deep dive. But yeah, the Batman, it ended with like the city flooding after like the Riddler. It was kind of like a little crazy, because like, oh, did you figure out my riddle? No, I didn't. And then he just like figured it out that the Riddler was gonna like kind of blow up the city, and it kind of flooded, and they didn't stop it. It just kind of happened, and Batman ended up having to save it. Was that a little bit anticlimactic? Yes, because they didn't really solve anything. It just happened. Like the Riddler told it was gonna happen, it happened, and Batman just kind of saved people from it. Yeah, it's probably like, this is why I don't believe it's gonna be like standalone. He's gotta do a little bit more. Then the Catwoman leaves. I didn't really connect with her too much as a character, but yeah, I thought she was a good actor and good character. I just didn't really connect. And yeah, so now he's just in Batman. I like how it ended and how it started. It's very, very nice like that. It was very well done, in my opinion, but like also a little anticlimactic with the action, but the action did happen. It did a great job of mixing this intellectual things with a lot of action. It did have a lot of action, a lot of intellectual stuff. And it didn't really have time to cut any jokes, which I'm totally okay with. I totally agree with that. You should like keep it a serious, darker tone. Also, not being as dark as the Snyder Cut. Snyder Cut was kind of like gothic, but this one was kind of like a little mix, a little bit darker than usual. And yeah, I like the path it's going down. I like where DC is at. That was my video for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you have a great day, and see you later.